Today I want to introduce to you this circular saw by the Dong Cheng. Now this saw is dusty. It has been well used over this last week and a half. So this is not your typical unboxing where you look at a brand new shiny saw. This is a saw that I've had now for about a week and a half, and I have really put it to the test. And today I want to be able to introduce to you the different features of it and show exactly some of the different items that I have been cutting with this saw and why this may be a really good choice for you to have in your shop. The first thing I want to show you is this little pamphlet by Dong Cheng. This gives you the information to be able to register your saw at this website, and please do so, because that will put your warranty in force. You also get the owner's manual to the saw itself and an owner's manual for the battery with all the information that you need to know about the different products. You also get 3 saw blades, and I think that's fantastic. Now this is a 6.5 inch blade, and it is a thin kerf blade, and it's also a carbon tip blade. Very important. Now you also get the battery charger, and you get 1 battery. Now quite frankly, I wish you had 2 batteries, but this is a 20 volt 4 amp hour lithium ion battery, and it does work extremely well. I have really put it to test over this last week to week and a half that I've been using this saw pretty much every day. You're going to get this Allen wrench to be able to put the blade on and off, and you get this guide that will slip right into this section of the saw to be able to use to be able to cut or rip your material. Of course, you can tighten it down right there at any distance that you want from the saw blade itself, and it's easy to be able to adjust. And of course, you're going to get a very nice bag to be able to carry the saw and all of the different components that you need to be able to go to and from the job site. Now before you install the saw blade, please make sure that the battery is not in the saw. Once that's done, you're ready to put the saw blade in. You'll also find that it's very easy to be able to install the saw blade. Now, first thing is just loosen this one nut, take it off, and you're going to have this silver washer, and then you're going to have this black washer also for that spacer. Now, it's very important that that black spacer is installed first. So we're going to drop that right down onto the shaft of the motor. We're going to get the guard out of the way, and then we'll slip in the blade itself and drop right down onto the shaft. Now if you look real close, you can see an arrow that gives you the direction of travel, and that is the way that the blade should be installed. And then we're going to take the silver washer and drop it onto the shaft, and this actually slotted and it just fits right in there. And then we're going to take the screw and screw it into place. Once you get the screw started, you don't need to have the guard open any longer, so you can release that and then finish screwing in this screw. Now once you get it hand tight, then you can take that Allen wrench and tighten the blade. To be able to get the blade fully tight, you need to be able to push this red button down. What that does, it actually locks the shaft so it will not turn. And now you can take the Allen wrench and finish tightening the blade so it will not come loose. So by holding that red knob down with your left thumb, you can use your right hand to tighten that blade down, and then that releases when you're finished and the blade will turn. Now the next feature is this lever right here. If you loosen this lever, you can move this base plate to adjust the depth of the saw blade as you cut through that material. You can set it to any depth that you need just by simply lowering or raising this base plate. Once you have the desired level set, then you can just simply tighten that lever back, and it's just basically a quarter of a turn is all it is. So it's very easy to get to, and easy to adjust the depth of the blade. And I highly recommend adjusting the blade so that the blade will just go through the thickness of the material. You also have a gauge on the front that shows you the angle of the blade that you can set. before I actually change that angle, let's see just how accurate it is with the blade set at 0 and see how accurate that it is. So I can take the square, put it right up there against the blade, and that looks really good. There is no gap between the blade and the square. So it's definitely set at 0, and reading of that scale at 0 is very accurate. And I'm actually kind of surprised at that. Now let's change the angle and let's rotate this to 45 degrees, because that's typically the most common angle that you're going to be using. And again, you only have one little thumb screw that you need to loosen to be able to move that base plate over to that 45-degree angle. So now with that set right on the gauge itself, let's check and see just how accurate that this is. So again, we're going to pull the guard out of the way. We're going to use our triangle, our speed square, to put right in there and see just how accurate that is. And guys, that looks real good. I'm very impressed that that little angle gauge is this accurate. There is no daylight between the blade or the base itself to that speed square. The next feature that I want to point out is this little small light. Now this light, quite frankly, is really not that useful. I have not found that that is really useful at all to me, but who knows, there may be some out there that like having that light right there that shines down toward the blade. But you can see with the battery installed that that light will turn on and you can see down close to where the blade is. Now another factor is that this does not have a laser on it. Now the next very important thing is that it does have a safety feature right here. That button must be depressed before you can squeeze the trigger and turn the saw on. Now this button works on both sides. So you can push it on this side and you have the same button on the other side, so you can push either way to be able to release the mechanism that will allow you to actually squeeze the trigger and turn the saw on. That's a very important safety feature that is, to me, probably the most important thing about this saw. Safety first. The next really nice feature is the dust collection. I can slip the hose onto this dust collection port and it will capture, I would say, the majority of the dust. Does it capture all of it? No, it doesn't. I don't think there's any circular saw out there that has the dust collection on there that will collect all of the sawdust. To install this little dust port, it only requires removing this one screw that will actually hold that dust collector port in place. So once you take out this screw, and quite frankly, this is the only assembly that was required for this saw, is simply slide in the dust port and screw it back in. Very, very simple, very straightforward, and quite frankly, I really like having the dust collection on a circular saw. I have been really impressed with using this saw now just about every day for this last week and a half. It has done exactly what I wanted and more, and quite frankly, I'm reaching for this saw more than I am the other saws that have the cord. For years, this has been my go-to saw anytime I needed to cut material that required the use of a circular saw. Now this does have a 6.5-inch blade, which is the same as the new saw that I have by Dong Cheng, but this saw is also very old, back from the 70s, and it's quite frankly very heavy. But again, this has been my go-to saw for literally decades. I did switch to this saw for the last couple of years in conjunction with my old reliable, but quite frankly, there's still no comparison between this saw and my good old reliable saw from decades ago to the new saw. The new saw by Dong Cheng has some definite advantages, and number one, it's lightweight. Number two, I really like the dust collection. Number three, I definitely like not having a cord to drag around. I like the fact that it is battery operated with a 20-volt, 4-amp-hour lithium-ion battery. the fact that this is a 6.5-inch blade versus the Ryobi, which was a 7.25, really doesn't make that much difference. The type of cutting that I do on a regular basis. This old Reliable was a 6.5-inch blade, the same as this one. I also like the fact that this saw is brushless, so I'm not going to have to worry about changing brushes sometime down the road. So at this point, I'm going to say this is my new go-to saw that I'll be using in the shop, and these other two are literally taking the back seat. Recently, I had the opportunity to build 5 gaming tables, and I had posted that video just a few days ago. But this was a good opportunity to be able to really test out this new saw. After all, I had 10 sheets of plywood that I had to be able to cut to size, and what better way to test the cutting of this material but with a brand new circular saw by Dong Cheng. So the first thing I did is set up this thin strip of wood to act basically like a track saw. And I wanted to test out just to see how easily it would cut through this construction grade 3/4 inch plywood. And it did just perfect. It actually cut this just like butter. There was no difficulty at all other than the fact that I'm short and I can't quite reach across a 4-foot piece of plywood. So we needed to turn and go the different direction now to be able to cut the width of this table, and we did the same thing. Set up this small strip of wood to act as my fence, or my track saw if you will, to be able to cut again. So this made it where it was very easy, very fast to set up, and quite frankly, this saw again performed extremely well. And to me, this was actually faster and safer and easier to do than using the table saw to be able to rip this material down. So after that test of cutting about 10 sheets of plywood, I had to try a 2x4. So I grabbed a scrapped piece of 2x4 and wanted to see just how well it would perform cutting this. And again, there was no difficulty whatsoever to be able to cut this material. Something else I want you to notice is that there's very little sawdust. Yeah, you can see some sawdust, but the majority of it is being taken care of by the dust collection, which is a really good feature. Now, one thing I want to point out, this saw does not have a laser on it, and to me, that's not a big deal. However, if you definitely want a laser, this is not the saw for you. I also had quite a bit of old fencing material that I needed to be able to get rid of. So what better way to try to get rid of it than just to cut it up with the saw itself. Now these 2x4s, again, it cuts without any difficulty. Now one thing that I have noticed is that the guard will catch at the bottom of the 2x4. So if you lift it up just slightly as you start to cut, it makes it even smoother. And that guard will not catch. So that's going to be a little negative that I want to tell you and bring up to you. Just raise up the saw just a little bit and that guard will work perfectly. And then you can set the saw down on the material and continue your cut. Now I have cut 4x4s, I've cut all the fence slats, and I've cut the mahogany and quite a bit of other material, and I am very pleased with how this saw performed. I also like how it feels in my hand and to be able to hold it. And again, it's a very comfortable, easy to hold, easy to handle saw, and I really like the dust collection that is available on this saw. Now the negative, I do not like the fact that it does not have the laser. Your modern saws typically all have the lasers. And the other thing that I really don't like is that the guard will actually catch on the material. Now I'm used to being able to raise up the saw just slightly when I start a cut, but you shouldn't have to. And with this saw, to avoid the catch of that safety guard, you really need to raise it up just slightly. Now I'll put a link in the description below should you want to check out this saw and see if it's something that would work well in your shop. But for me, this is going to be the saw that I use now for the most part on the different projects that I do in the future, because it handles all of the different materials that I have cut with these, including mahogany, which is a fairly hard wood. This one had no problem at all being able to cut through that material. So if you like this video and you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up, and please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And one of the things that really helps to drive the algorithms, if you leave me a comment on what type of saw that you're using, and if something like this from Dong Cheng, which is the battery operated saw, would work well in your shop. I would appreciate you leaving a comment. I definitely will read the comments and try my best to be able to respond to each and every one of them. And also, please check out these videos up here. I think that you're going to find them useful on being able to see the different tips and tricks that I use in the shop on a daily basis. So for now, I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in the next video. So bye-bye, everyone. See you real soon.